What's up, guys? This is Young Shot here, back here today to give you guys another video. This time I'm going to take a break from my draft days and give you guys an NBA talk video referring to Blake Griffin and free agency that's about to come up for him. A lot of people, as you know that Blake Griffin's on his final year of his contract. Same thing for Chris Paul. And many people are wondering, where's Blake Griffin going to go, especially being out for the season after the playoffs, after I think game 2 or game 3, where he injured his toe and pretty much was out for the rest of the remaining of the playoffs. So Blake Griffin, now a free agent, is many rumors out there that I would like to address. Pretty much Blake Griffin is most likely going to leave the Clippers. It seems like that way because it seems that he can't stay injured. The franchise could be going in a different direction depending on how Chris Paul leaves. It could be a deciding factor into things. But in this case right now, it feels as though Blake Griffin will be a free agent and will be going to a different team. So let's just look at the possibilities. If he still stays on the Clippers, he still stays on the Clippers, but we're going to check and explore every possibility of him leaving the Clippers. Alright, so guys, Adrian Wojnarowski, this is from Yahoo Sports, pretty much describing the Blake Griffin situation. This was reported 3 days ago, prior from the draft day news of Markelle Fultz trade basically to the Sixers. They said the Celtics is really the only threat or only danger to sign Blake Griffin from the Clippers. Said by this article, as I'm going to bring it up in a few minutes, the Celtics plan to add front court talent. Obviously, that's what they've been looking for. With Jazz forward Gordon Hayward reportedly the top target to come in focus. That also includes Blake Griffin, who increasingly rumored to open to leaving the Clippers. Adrian Wojnarowski on the Vertical podcast basically said from his sources, I think the Clippers may think this too, and certainly some other teams. Boston is really the danger for Blake Griffin. I think Boston two primary free agent targets is Gordon Hayward and Blake Griffin. Now they aren't going to give them both, but they are both players who potentially have interest there, who Boston I think will look in different ways with them in the future. The Clippers can offer more money in a bigger market, but with Chris Paul basically sparking interest with the Spurs, and it's unclear whether Paul will help or hurt the Clippers' Griffin pursuit. Griffin and Paul have butted heads over the years, but Paul has elevated the Clippers at least near fringes of contending. Likewise, there's little telling what Griffin's decision will mean for Paul. The Celtics are intrigued to draw a great team with now the third pick and next first round pick for next year. They have a bright future and plenty of room to upgrade at power forward, even if Griffin and Al Horford would be odd fits. Now, regardless of not, the odds are against Griffin signing at Boston, but I can see why they will probably try to go after Blake Griffin in this case. So that's pretty much the news regarding Blake Griffin from Adrian Wojnarowski from the Yahoo Sports. I'll show it to you in pretty much in the inside the video as I was talking. But regardless of not, Blake Griffin has sparked interest with the Boston Celtics, which I think will be a really great find for him. I think offense can now go straight to the post. They found a big man. He's not going to give them what they want, which is basically interior defense, but he makes it up with rebounding and also scoring, and also another passer, another playmaker to help out with Isaiah Thomas. Now here's another possible destination for Blake Griffin. Thoughts? Facing prohibited salary cap restrictions, OKC general manager Sam Presti has rumored to covet the services of Blake Griffin. Griffin can sign a 5-year deal worth $175 million to LA, or sign a 4-year deal worth $130 million to another team. Boston and OKC are two teams that make a bid for Griffin According to many executives around the league, Presti offered is a long shot pitch that would require several personnel moves to complete. Nonetheless, the development is notable due to Griffin being an OK City native. He came out of Oklahoma. He was a former All-American at Oklahoma. Last season, he had recurring injuries, and pretty much he said, as I said at the beginning, recurring injuries, 7-year vet, missed a third of 246 outings out of 3 seasons, I think, or 2 seasons. Further than that, he has an alien foot. He didn't complete the playoffs, as I said. Despite the setback, pretty much Chris Paul and Blake Griffin is going to be touted out of Loud City. It could be the end. And they're actually thinking about letting DeAndre Jordan possibly walk. If this is the case, probably next season. Where Griffin ultimately choose to sign is anyone guess, but I'm pretty sure OKC will make a bid. This is from welcome-to-loudcity.com, which is pretty much the SB Nation community page for OKC. This was written by Joshua Broom, and it was written about a day ago. So that's pretty much what you have with Blake Griffin. Now I'm going to discuss the things that I'm really looking forward to as far as Blake Griffin, as far as my thoughts about him and where he should go and where his landing spot should be at. So let's stay tuned to that. If you like the content so far, leave a like. And so here's my thoughts about Blake Griffin and him possibly going to a different team. It all really considered about Chris Paul. If Chris Paul is pretty much going to be the person that says, okay, we got to go somewhere, and pretty much I'm going to go to the San Antonio Spurs and get a better chance of winning a title, and this thing is not working out, Blake Griffin's most likely going to be gone, obviously. So I feel like Blake will take the smarter road, go to a more high market team, obviously a place where he can win at. Probably go to Boston. I feel like that would be a good fit for him because one, he'll stay in the East. Pretty much play with a higher chance of getting somewhere. His team is not going to be overly affected by his play if he does say get injured. And he'll have as I said, a better opportunity to win in the East compared to the West, where it's more stacked and pretty much he doesn't have a team anymore. Unless he goes to, say, OKC, where if he goes to OKC, it will fit the running gun offense that they need. They'll have a post presence. Blake will have a lot of ways of scoring inside. Also, playing with Russell, I think, would benefit a lot. Basically, the two athletic guys that most people recognize for their iconic dunks during games. It'll be a lot for the small market team like OKC to like, and that'll be a really great place for him to play. Is it going to be a championship? Most likely no. Reasons why I'm saying the Celtics will be a better fit for him, but regardless or not, Blake Griffin should ultimately decide to, right now in his career, since he's 28, should ultimately decide, let's find a team. If Chris Paul does say leave from the Clippers and everything is ruined, let's find a team that will help me win a championship right away. And pretty much with some of the things that's been happening around the NBA, Blake Griffin, I feel, needs to find a team that, one, needs his talents, obviously, a post player that can shoot from the three-point line, not a consistent rate, but can still hit, very athletic, and can rebound, and a pretty solid on-ball defender, but not somebody that could rim protect or anything. So he needs to find a team like that. Most likely, I'll say Boston Celtics, because one, with the trade where Marco Fultz and them getting the third and basically getting some picks, you might as well try to get Blake Griffin to basically get on your team, build a team ready enough to contend against Cleveland unless they want to wait it out and gather more talent. That's up to the Celtics. But pretty much gather more talent and basically the Cleveland Cavaliers. And basically with Blake Griffin and his situation right now, he's not going to obviously take more money unless he stays with the Clippers, which I don't see the Clippers doing, and I don't see him doing for the time being, especially if Chris Paul leaves. So the decision is on the balance right now. Chris Paul has options to go. Blake Griffin has options to go. And if that happens, DeAndre Jordan, the Lob City era is pretty much done. And DeAndre Jordan's pretty much going to be walking somewhere to another team. So in this case right now, Blake Griffin must decide if he wants to go for a championship. Until then, we don't know. And we just got to find out during the summer where Blake Griffin's going to go. So with that, this is Diesel Claw Journalism. I'm Young Shot. If you like this content, let me know. Slap it down on the like button, please. And then we also got more content coming out of the way for the draft, and also more stuff like this, NBA talk with free agency and other things as well. So if you like the content so far, if you like any of the videos that's on the channel, subscribe. If you like the video, as I said, leave a like. And I'm Young Shot. I'm out. Peace.